And we begin on this Saturday night with breaking news. Kaufman County District Attorney Mike McLelland and his wife have been found shot to death inside their home. And sources are telling News 8 tonight this does not appear to be a murder-suicide. The stunning news comes just 2 months after the murder of Kaufman County Assistant District Attorney Mark Hasse. No one was ever arrested in that case. The bodies of McLelland and his wife were found in their Forney home earlier this evening. Now, within the past hour, the FBI has arrived on the scene. The U.S. Marshals Task Force is also there, along with Texas Rangers and multiple other law enforcement agencies, including Forney Police and the Kaufman County Sheriff. You're getting a real picture of just how important this case is right now. Channel 8's Carla Wade is live in Forney tonight, joins us with the very latest there from the scene.
As you mentioned, there are several agencies that are out here on the scene, Jason. Most of the people that live in this neighborhood have already gone inside their home despite this huge police presence out here. As you mentioned, the U.S. Marshals are here on the serve, their task force, as well as the Texas Rangers, along with the Kaufman County Sheriff's Office. And the Sheriff's Department did confirm to us this evening that it is investigating the death of District Attorney Mike McLelland and his wife. They were found dead inside their home this evening. Now, neighbors that we talked to say that they didn't see or hear anything out of the ordinary this evening or even overnight. But they say around 9 o'clock this evening, they saw that police had surrounded the McLelland's home.
No, I was very, very scared, and it's really hard to imagine something like this happen in your neighborhood. You know, we've lived here for years, and we've never had anything like this happen before, and for it to happen so close to home, it's very, very scary.
As you mentioned, there is a tremendous police presence here on the scene. In fact, they are asking us to move all of our equipment as soon as possible. They say they will be shutting down this street and that they are in the very initial stages of their investigation. In Forney, Carla Wade, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Carla. A lot of information coming in about McLelland tonight. His county biography says that McLelland practiced law for 18 years as a criminal defense attorney, a mental health judge, and a special prosecutor for family and protective services, all very heavy duties before he became DA. He also served in the U.S. Army and carried top secret clearance for more than 15 years. The bio also says that McLelland and his wife had 5 children, one of whom is a Dallas police officer. Now, it was just back in January when someone brazenly shot and killed one of McLelland's employees, Assistant DA Mark Hasse. He was gunned down in the courthouse parking lot as he walked into work in broad daylight. Investigators still trying to find his killer or killers. The reward, in fact, up to $130,000 now to solve Hasse's murder. He had been a lawyer for 30 years and served as a felony prosecutor in Kaufman County since July of 2010. Now, at the time of Hasse's murder, McLelland vowed justice.
I hope that the people that did this are watching, because we're very confident that we're going to find you, we're going to pull you out of whatever hole you're in, and we're going to bring you back and let the people of Kaufman County prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
That was McLelland just a few months ago. There has since been an extensive manhunt for Hasse's killer. Joining us by phone with the very latest on that and any possible connections with this latest case is our Jason Whiteley tonight. Jason, what do we know on that end?
Well, Jason, right now prosecutors are shaken. Law enforcement is shaken, not only there in Kaufman, but all over North Texas. The top prosecutor gunned down outside the courthouse 2 months ago. Now the DA and his wife both murdered. The front door to their home was kicked in, sources are telling News 8. And right now we have to stress here at 10:50 tonight on Saturday night, we do not know of a connection yet between these two crimes, between the Mark Hasse murder and between what happened to Mr. McLelland and his wife, Cynthia, though investigators are looking very closely at that. One district attorney in a neighboring county expressed concern over these murders and asked for extra security tonight. No question this is going to lead to more security, not only for district attorneys, but also prosecutors all over North Texas. Monday morning, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot tighter security at courthouses all over the place here in North Texas and perhaps across the state. At this hour, we know of state and federal authorities all on their way to the crime scene there in Forney, where Carla was a few moments ago. A crime scene of this magnitude is no doubt going to draw dozens and dozens of investigators trying to solve this, really putting a spotlight on what happened there. Long term, though, Jason, this is likely to have some wide-ranging effects as well. The state legislature is in session right now down in Austin. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some action from lawmakers there. Bottom line, this is a big deal. It's going to be a big deal regardless of whether it's related to the Mark Hasse murder that happened back on January 31st, because it's rare for a top prosecutor to be killed, and even more stunning and more bold for a district attorney and his wife to be gunned down in their own home, especially if the front door was indeed kicked in. So expect a huge law enforcement presence and cascading effects in neighboring counties and courthouses as we go into the next 36 to 48 hours. Jason, back to you.
Yeah, Jason, going back to your first statement here about how this really has shaken investigators here, you know, going back to the Hasse case from a couple of months ago, usually you'll see some leads that'll play out pretty quickly in something like this, especially in such a high-profile case and in the middle of the day right out there in the courthouse parking lot, but they've just hit dead end after dead end after dead end, and tonight we see this latest news. It really has to be unnerving for them.
No doubt it has. There's a task force underway right now still trying to solve the Mark Hasse murders. A task force made up of local, state, and federal authorities. And in the last 60 days, this task force has been chasing dozens and dozens and dozens of leads. They haven't been able to nail down a suspect or even a motive yet for who killed Mr. Hasse. And you heard a few moments ago we had Mr. McLelland on there vowing to find who did this. So if these two are related or if they are not related, this is still a huge deal and quite frightening for everyone who prosecutes, who work for DA's offices all over North Texas, and for anyone in law enforcement as well. This just does not happen when top prosecutors like Mark Hasse and even district attorneys, if indeed Mr. McLelland was targeted, stuff like this just does not happen. That's why it's shaken so many people in law enforcement and in the legal communities.
All right, and very, definitely very germane here that you point out tonight, Jason, that sources are at least saying at this point, we want to reiterate this does not look like a murder-suicide, and it appears that the door had been kicked in.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what we're hearing now. One source saying the front door appears to have been kicked in. We're not sure what it looked like on the crime scene, but I asked specifically to two different sources any question whether this might have been a murder-suicide or something that would focus authorities somewhere else. They said that is not what we're hearing right now. This appears to be a double murder, which is even more frightening for everyone out there.
Absolutely, especially such a high-profile figure there as well. Jason Whiteley working all of his sources this evening. We certainly hope to hear back from you during this newscast if you get any further information. And, of course, we'll be following this story throughout the night with updates as they come in on Twitter and Facebook. We have multiple crews working this, every angle of it right now, in fact, and we will have coverage here on News 8 Daybreak starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. We'll keep you updated if anything else happens during this newscast as well.